Welcome to the office. Let's talk. So, if you've ever thought about becoming an architect, you've probably heard the same three words over and over again: education, experience, and examination. Sounds simple, right? But the truth is, this path isn't as clean as it looks on paper. Becoming a licensed architect takes years of persistence, patience, and a lot of times frustration. Today, I want to tell you what it's really like. Not the checklist version, but the version that happens in the real world. And don't worry, I'll dive deeper into those 3 steps in another video. But for now, this is just really the truth behind what it actually means to get a license. So here's what it really means. The license, it's not just a piece of paper or a fancy seal with your name on it. It's a legal responsibility. It means you can stamp drawings, you could take liability for your designs, and you can make the final calls that affect real buildings and real people. But it's also symbolic. It means that you stayed with something long enough to cross the finish line, through the late nights, the tests, and the self-doubt. Still, a license doesn't make you creative or even successful. It just makes you accountable. What you do with the accountability, that's what defines you as an architect. Every licensed architect in the US goes through the same general path: education, experience, and exams. Each one has its own challenges, but we'll save those details for that other video. But what matters here is that this process, it takes time. For some people, 6, 7 years, if everything lines up perfectly. But for others, 10, 12, 15 years, even longer. It's not a race. You'll have seasons where you're gaining experience, then long stretches where studying takes over. And that's okay. Architecture doesn't reward speed, it rewards consistency. Here's the part most people don't tell you. Once you finally get that license, you're probably expecting a huge pay raise. But in reality, that doesn't always happen. Sure, you might be a little more valuable to the firm. Now they can list you as another licensed architect on the staff. But I'm sure they already have people who can stamp drawings. What you actually did is became another potential liability. Don't get me wrong, it's a proud moment, and it should be. But don't expect overnight rewards. Architecture isn't a field where one milestone changes everything. It's a slow, layered climb. There's also the emotional side no one really prepares you for. You fail an exam or two, or you lose motivation halfway through, you'll see others move faster and wonder what's wrong with you. But you're not alone in that. Every architect I know has gone through the same internal battle. The truth is, it's less about intelligence and more about endurance. You need to learn how to manage your energy, how to study smarter, and how to keep showing up, even when you're tired of hearing about passing rates. And once you're finally licensed, your learning isn't done. Every year, depending on your state, you'll need continuing education hours. Courses on health, safety, welfare. Now they're adding sustainability. You have accessibility, technical topics that you need to keep your license active. Sometimes it's every year, every other year. It's 16 hours, and those are usually taken in the form of self-study, going to take courses, webinars, or going to seminars. Because architecture, it keeps evolving. Codes change, materials advance, new tools appear. Because being licensed isn't the end of learning. It's the start of a lifelong professional growth. So what do you actually gain? You gain independence. Freedom, maybe to open your own firm. Freedom to take on your own clients. And the freedom to make design calls that matter. But with that freedom, you also gain responsibility and a lot of stress. Because when your name goes on a drawing, it's your decision, your risk, your reputation. You have a duty to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public. And if somebody gets hurt using one of your buildings, that's on you. But still, that first time you stamp a set of drawings with your seal, it hits you. This is yours. You made it. But also remember, not every great designer is licensed. Some of the biggest names out there aren't actually licensed. They have licensed architects working with them, but maybe they focus on visualizations. Maybe your desire is to work on interiors or construction management, and you can still be brilliant at what you do. Remember, becoming licensed is just one version of success. It's the one I chose, and it's the one a lot of other people choose. And if you choose to pursue it, do it because you want to, not because you feel like you have to, or that's a validation. It should be something you chose. Becoming a licensed architect, it's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. But it's also probably one of the most rewarding. Not for the pay bump or the title, but for the growth that happens along the way and the pride that comes with knowing that they can't take that away from you. I mean, technically they can if you're really bad. But it's something worth doing if that's your path that you're going towards. So go for it. If you want to get that license, go for it. Just know it's a long road and it doesn't end once you get licensed, but you can do it. All right, that's it. Let's get back to work.